you want to get started in RC flying and you haven't got a clue where to go. So let me tell you and show you a few things you're going to need. So you want to fly and you don't know where to start. You're thinking, what do I do first? I don't know, so let me show you. The first thing you're going to need, and I would say this to anybody because it was said to me when I first started, and it's been an absolutely incredible help, is to get yourself some training software, a simulator for your computer. This is Phoenix RC. This is the first one I bought back in October last year. Now this one is absolutely fantastic. It's very good. It does come with its own cable. Each of these little flight sim things, they've all got their own special cables that plug into the back of your transmitter. And that is the way they lock down the software. You don't need any serial numbers, you just install it, and without that cable it won't work at all. So don't go getting any funny ideas about pirating the software or borrowing a friend's copy, because you can only get the cables directly from Phoenix. It either comes with the software or you ring up Phoenix and justify to them why you need a new cable. This one's great. It's not bad. They do update it very regularly, so that's a good thing. Pretty much every time I switch it on, there's new updates available. So the people behind the scenes are doing what they're paid to do. The models in it are very good. They're very realistic. The software itself is very quick. Even on a very low spec machine, you'll find that this one, I mean, I've seen this running on Pentium 4s. Mine's a quad core, but I've seen this running on some real crappy hardware and some real skanky laptops, and it runs absolutely perfectly, no problem at all. So if you're on a tight budget but you want to buy a decent one, you haven't got the latest gaming rig PCs, get this one. This one's really good. That's one option. So you'll need a training software. Another one that I bought, I'm going to show you these in a sec. I got a bit bored with Phoenix because the models in it, you're limited to what they give you. I wanted to try and find something where I could fly a lot of the multiplex foamies that I'm buying. I happen to have 2 Twin Stars, a Mini Mag, a Mentor, an Easy Star, and a few others that I've got my eyes on that I'd love to learn to fly. I splashed out and I went and bought Aerofly Platinum Edition. This is the full-on, includes all 1 to 5 add-ons. This one was a bit expensive. It's about 125 quid. This one came from Kings Lynn Model Centre. Very helpful guys up there. I just ordered it over the phone. And again, you need another different type of cable for this one. You can't use the one that came with Phoenix. You will need, every single flight sim requires its own unique cable. So yeah, that's my advice. Today's lesson is to get yourself an RC flight simulator and slap it on your PC. Now this one, Aerofly Deluxe, is quite intensive. There's an awful lot to it in terms of what it needs to run it on your PC. So if you've got a crappy old beat up PC, you might get away with it, but you might not notice very good performance. Because even on my quad core desktop, when I fire this up, I can hear my PC going potty, working overtime just to run this. But once I get out the main menu system and start flying, it's great, no problems with it at all. This one is brilliant though, because I actually prefer this one because you can download models from all over the internet, slap them on here, and fly with whatever models you've downloaded that other people have built. So this one for me wins. Even if you just buy the basic version, it's actually the same price as Phoenix. So if you want to get started and you want something flexible, I would actually say go with Aerofly Deluxe. You don't have to buy the Platinum Edition, you can just get the Aerofly Professional or Aerofly, and you can find people write models for them, slap them in, and you can fly them about all day long. I prefer Aerofly Deluxe. That for me is a winner. There are others out there that are free. There are some which are very cheap, but me being a fussy sod, I don't like them because they just look pants. They really do. The other thing you're going to need if you want to get started in learning to fly, once you've got your training simulator, is you're going to need one of these. You're going to need a transmitter. Now, for using with flight sims, I would say get the cheapest one you can get your hands on. You don't even have, this is 2.4 gigahertz. little tiny aerial on top. You don't even have to get 2.4. You can buy a cheap skanky 35 MHz second-hand radio off of eBay for about a tenner and just get the cable that goes with your flight sim software when you buy the software itself. It's actually probably a better idea. I would say it's a better idea to buy a cheap skanky radio just to use on your PC, purely because over the last 6 months I've noticed, I've heard from talking to loads of different people at different model shops and guys at the field, there have been a few occasions when the training simulator software has actually blown up the radio. One guy at my local model shop had a brand new Futaba 8-channel radio and his flight sim software blew it up. So they're quite expensive, so you really don't want that to happen. So I would say get a cheap skanky 35 MHz radio off of eBay for 10-15 quid and use that just for your flight sim software. Just leave it in the house all the time and just use that. Be perfect. So that's it. This is a Futaba 6EX. This is the lowest of the range that you can get in the Futaba 2.4 GHz radios. If you look on eBay, you can probably pick one up for about 80-90 quid. If you buy it new, it's about 150 quid as a kit with servos and all the other crap that comes with it. But you really don't need it. It's fairly straightforward. If you're new to radio, always read the manual. When you're flying with RC stuff, you'll find this is the one hobby, the one thing you probably do in life where you actually really must read the manual. So you're not going to get away with just picking it up and trying it, because there's so much stuff, even in a basic radio like this, there's so much stuff that you really won't understand. It took me best part of 2-3 weeks to understand everything that's in here. And this is just the basic model. So yeah, that's that for today. Get yourself a cheap radio, get yourself some flight sim software, and you'll be set to go. 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks on the flight sim software, it really will help with orientation, because you don't want to take your first plane up and stack it into a tree because you were disorientated or you didn't. You want to get into that mindset where when a plane's coming towards you, you instantly know that left stick means the plane's going to go the opposite way. You want to be in a position where it just comes naturally. You don't want to have to think about it, because otherwise it gets very expensive and it will cost you your models when you crash them. Whereas on here, you can crash them all day long and it doesn't matter. Just hit the reset button. So that's it for today, guys.